Which of these investors are you? The one just starting out, the one who's achieved financial freedom, or the one who's built an empire? There are 3 levels of investors, each with its own mindset, strategy, and approach to wealth. The truth is, the path to financial success isn't random. It's a journey defined by the decisions you make, the risks you take, and the mindset you cultivate. Today, we're going to explore the 3 distinct stages of investing and wealth building. Whether you're still at the beginning of your journey or you're already making moves, understanding which level you're at is the key to unlocking the next stage of your financial growth. By the end of this video, you'll not only know which type of investor you are, but you'll also discover how to level up and take your financial journey to the next level. In this video, you will learn how the wealth building process isn't a one-size-fits-all. You'll uncover the stages that investors go through, from those just getting started, to those achieving financial freedom, and even to those redefining wealth. We'll break down the investment strategies that define each stage, the mindset shifts that separate the amateurs from the pros, and how you can begin applying these lessons to your own financial journey. Investing is an age-old practice that has shaped the fortunes of empires, corporations, and individuals alike. For centuries, the wealthiest people in history have understood one fundamental principle. True wealth comes from investing, not just saving. From the ancient markets of Mesopotamia to the modern-day stock exchanges, investing has always been the bridge between wealth creation and generational prosperity. Over time, the world of investing has evolved dramatically. In the past, it was reserved for the elites, with access to information and opportunities tightly controlled. Today, however, investing is democratized. Thanks to advancements in technology, anyone with a smartphone can become an investor, but not all investors are created equal. There's a clear divide between those who play it safe and those who embrace calculated risk to build lasting wealth. Global cultural impact. Why does the concept of investors matter globally? Because investing is a universal driver of economic growth. The world runs on capital. Businesses grow, jobs are created, and economies flourish when individuals invest in new ideas, companies, and ventures. Investing shapes industries and fuels technological advancements that improve the quality of life for millions. Whether it's the growth of Silicon Valley, the real estate boom in major cities, or the rise of cryptocurrency, the choices made by investors have far-reaching effects on society and the global economy. At a cultural level, investing has become synonymous with success. In today's world, the image of the self-made millionaire, someone who began with nothing and used strategic investments to build an empire, has captivated the global imagination. Investors, through their ability to take risks, seize opportunities, and plan for the future, are often seen as the architects of tomorrow's wealth. The cultural narrative has shifted from the idea of a traditional job to that of financial freedom, and investing is seen as the key to unlocking that potential. Now, let's break down the 3 levels of investors. These levels aren't defined by the amount of money you have. They're defined by your mindset, strategy, and approach to risk. Each level represents a different way of thinking about money, wealth, and the future. Understanding where you fall on this spectrum can dramatically shift the way you approach your financial journey. The beginner investor, the sparker of potential. The first level is the beginner investor, the one who's just starting to dip their toes into the world of wealth building. This individual is often driven by the desire for financial security, but they are still figuring out how to make their money work for them. At this stage, the focus is on education, learning the basics of investing, from stocks and bonds to real estate and commodities. Many beginners are hesitant to take risks. They often play it safe, starting with low-risk investments like index funds, savings bonds, or ETFs, believing this will protect them from potential losses. While this is a great way to start, the challenge here is that many beginners don't know how to scale their wealth once they've mastered the basics. They're often caught in a cycle of slow but steady growth, which feels secure, but doesn't propel them to the next level. Real-world example, take Warren Buffett for instance. Before he became one of the wealthiest men in the world, he started by investing in small stocks and bonds in his teenage years. He was cautious, methodical, and committed to learning. His early investments were all about gaining knowledge and understanding how the market works, essentially laying the foundation for his future empire. Lesson: the key takeaway here is that starting small and playing it safe isn't wrong. It's the essential first step to understanding how investments work. But don't stop here. Begin exploring more advanced strategies once you feel comfortable and look for ways to take smarter risks. The intermediate investor, the pursuer of growth. The second level is the intermediate investor. At this stage, you've moved beyond the basics and are starting to play a bigger game. You're more comfortable with taking risks, and you understand the importance of diversification and strategy. The intermediate investor is constantly seeking higher returns, and you start to see them making calculated investments in individual stocks, real estate, or even starting their own businesses. These investors typically have a solid understanding of their financial goals. They're no longer just investing to protect their money. They're looking for opportunities to grow it exponentially. They start exploring sectors such as technology, healthcare, or alternative assets like cryptocurrencies. Their portfolio is beginning to take shape, and they're ready to take bigger bets. They may still face some setbacks along the way, but they're learning from their mistakes and continuously refining their approach. Real-world example. Consider Elon Musk. Before launching SpaceX or Tesla, he had already built up significant wealth by investing in ventures like PayPal. Elon wasn't afraid to take risks, but he also understood the power of calculated bets. His mindset shifted from merely securing wealth to using his capital to create groundbreaking, world-changing companies. Lesson: as an intermediate investor, the focus should be on expanding your knowledge, diversifying your portfolio, and taking bolder steps. This is where you begin to see true wealth-building potential. Now that we've explored the first two levels of investors, those starting out and those seeking growth, it's time to talk about the top-tier investors, the ones who have truly mastered the art of wealth building. These investors don't just think about financial security or growth. They think about legacy, empire building, and transforming industries. This is where the game changes entirely. The advanced investor, the architect of legacy. The advanced investor is at the top of the investment pyramid. At this level, money is no longer a limited resource to be guarded. It's a tool to create massive value, influence, and change. Advanced investors have shifted from just generating wealth to creating systems of wealth, businesses, real estate portfolios, innovations, and industries that generate passive income streams and perpetual growth. They understand that to build an empire, they need to focus on scalable investments that can multiply exponentially. What differentiates the advanced investor from the other levels is their ability to make bold, calculated moves that reshape entire industries. They aren't just investing in stocks or real estate. They're investing in businesses, innovations, and technologies that are poised to disrupt the market. These investors play the long game, using a combination of vision, risk tolerance, and strategic partnerships to make their wealth grow at an accelerated pace. Real-world example. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. While many entrepreneurs were focused on brick-and-mortar retail businesses, Bezos saw the potential of the internet. He didn't just want to sell books. He wanted to build a company that could sell anything to anyone, anywhere in the world. His strategic thinking led to Amazon's dominance in e-commerce, cloud computing, and more. The core of his wealth didn't come from simple investments. It came from reimagining what was possible and building an empire around that vision. Lesson: to reach this level, you must stop thinking about investing as a way to preserve wealth and start seeing it as a way to create disruptive, world-changing businesses and innovations. The key is in the ability to scale, to think long-term, and to harness your resources to build an unstoppable force. Comparative analysis. What makes them stand out? What makes the advanced investor different from the intermediate investor isn't just the amount of capital they have. It's the mindset and the approach to opportunity. While the intermediate investor is focused on growing their wealth, the advanced investor is focused on creating systems that grow wealth continuously, on autopilot. They understand leverage. They're leveraging people, resources, knowledge, and technology to achieve their goals. They're not bound by traditional investment vehicles. They're creating their own. Their ability to forecast future trends and act on them before the market catches up is what sets them apart. Motivational insight. As an advanced investor, the true wealth building comes not just from the what of your investments, but the how. How can you leverage your resources to create long-term generational wealth? How can you think outside the box, innovate, and position yourself at the forefront of the next wave of global change? The answer lies in understanding that true success is measured by the impact you make, not just the assets you accumulate. Application 1. Educate yourself and take action. For beginners, if you're just starting out, knowledge is your most powerful tool. The first application step is to commit to continuous learning about investing. Take the time to study the basics. Understand the different types of investments available, from stocks and bonds to real estate and cryptocurrencies. But don't stop at just reading or watching videos. Take action. Open a brokerage account and begin investing small amounts. Test the waters and start building your portfolio. As you gain experience, you'll start to understand the patterns, and most importantly, you'll learn from both your successes and your mistakes. Actionable insight. Take 30 minutes today to research beginner-friendly investing platforms. Open an account and invest a small amount in an index fund or ETF. The goal is to start learning by doing. 2. Diversify and seek growth. For intermediate investors, once you have a solid understanding of the basics, it's time to diversify your portfolio and focus on higher growth potential. Diversification isn't just about investing in different asset classes. It's about spreading your risk and positioning yourself for exponential growth. Look for opportunities that have higher returns, but also come with calculated risk. Consider expanding into real estate, tech stocks, or even alternative investments like venture capital or cryptocurrencies. The goal is to continue growing your wealth with more dynamic investments that align with your risk tolerance and long-term financial goals. Actionable insight. Identify one new investment opportunity this week. Whether it's a high-growth stock, a real estate venture, or even crowdfunding a startup. Commit to making that investment within the next 7 days. 3. Scale and leverage. For advanced investors, to move to the top tier of investors, you need to think beyond just earning passive income. It's time to build a legacy and scale your wealth by leveraging your resources. This could mean starting a business, creating multiple passive income streams, or even investing in disruptive industries that are shaping the future. Advanced investors understand that wealth isn't just about growing money. It's about creating systems that generate wealth automatically. They look for ways to leverage their capital, knowledge, and network to create exponential growth. Actionable insight. Identify a scalable investment or business idea that has the potential to create passive income. Start brainstorming ways you can use your existing resources, capital, network, skills to bring that idea to life. The goal is to move beyond traditional investment strategies and into wealth-building systems. So where do you stand in your investment journey? Are you just beginning, learning the ropes and building that foundation for your financial future? Or are you ready to take calculated risks and scale your wealth to new heights? Maybe you're already building your empire, thinking long-term and creating systems that will generate wealth for generations to come. Remember, every great investor starts somewhere. No matter where you are right now, the most important step is the one you take today. Each level brings its own challenges, but it also brings its own rewards. And with the right mindset, strategy, and willingness to learn, there's no limit to where your financial journey can take you. Final thought. Which investor are you today, and what do you need to do to unlock the next level? The choice is yours. It's time to stop wondering and start acting. If you enjoyed this video and want more insights on building wealth, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear which level you're at and what steps you're taking to level up your investment game. Let's keep this conversation going, and together we can all grow smarter and wealthier.